Once a global model has been built, it can be used in many different areas of the fi360 toolkit. In our examples, we'll take a look at this optimizer model that I have listed in my global models area. To begin, we can go into the proposal generator under the My Proposals link, and I'll pull up an existing proposal that I'm working on. And in our proposal generation process, we're building a current lineup and a proposed lineup for our client. This proposed lineup can be entered manually, but a great way to standardize your proposal generation process is to use the models. You can quickly select a model that you've built in the toolkit and combine it with a recommended fund list that you've built in the My List section of the toolkit as well. So with this combination, we can click on the Combine list, and the system is going to quickly build a proposed lineup based off of our global model, and it's going to look through the global model, looking at the asset classes used in that model, and look through the buy list and find those investments that line up to those asset classes used in the model. Quickly standardizing that process, and then we can move on to step 3 and finish the mapping step of the proposal generation process. The next example we can look at is listed in the My Client section. I'm going to pull up a client listed here, and this could be a defined benefit plan, an individual investor. Either of these examples will work. But as I go into this client, I'm going to jump into the investment policy statement section, where I need to define a strategic allocation for my client. I have one listed here already that's simply 100% money market taxable, but as you may be able to tell, I can pull up my optimizer model using the option on the right hand side of the page. After I click the change button, it's going to populate the strategic allocation for the client's IPS using the asset classes in the model. Then I can store that information, and that information will be used in the investment policy statement. It'll also be used in a comparison section in the monitoring report if you choose to use that section as well. If we jump into our asset allocation area, we can also use models for comparison points when we're looking at the current lineup, again defined by the holdings in our table here, and the strategic allocation. So if we wanted to introduce another allocation for a comparison point, say my balanced portfolio here, we can use that as a comparison point, and then when we produce our optimizer reporting, this will be introduced as another model that will be in the report, again for comparison between the holdings and the strategic allocation in the IPS. A third option in our global model usage is with a client that holds a 401k plan. We go into our time period for our client and jump into the holdings area. We have a model portfolios tab where we can create and store model portfolios for our 401k plan. I'm going to quickly create a new model portfolio. Store that in the system. And now when I click on the edit link to edit the details for this model, I'm presented with a list of the investment lineup options for this client. Now to build that strategic model, I can add the investments over one by one, or I can use my model to populate the investments. The system's going to look at the model, look at the peer groups or asset classes in the plan lineup, and pull those asset classes over according to the model. Once the model is complete, I can click on the Save Investment button, and our model is complete and can be used in model portfolio reporting for our 401k plan.